Take a Seat Gaming is one of the oldest gaming communities in the scene. We don't have a big ego about it. We're just better than you. You're now listening to the Take a Seat Tidbits podcast, featuring different hosts and leaders every episode.
What's up, peeps? I'm your host, Jones. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing you to Paradox TSB, TSB Draco, and TSB Jace. How are you guys?
I am good.
Good as well.
Just work.
Okay, so today, the podcast episode is about board games. So we're going to speak about any type of board games, any that come to mind, and just pretty much see what the most popular board game is out there, what kind of board games people like to play, and if there's any board games that people don't really play, and get it explained to us, pretty much. So I'm going to start us off with possibly one of the biggest board games, especially around Christmas, Monopoly. What's your guys' view on Monopoly?
I'll say not just Christmas. It's fucking Monopoly is like a big board game in my family. Big.
Yeah, I like playing Monopoly.
They play every like once a month. Holy crap!
I wish I love Monopoly, but I don't play it like a lot of the time. But I wish I could. It's a great board game.
It is a good board game.
It's
very difficult too.
Yeah. You what?
Very time consuming.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if you're playing it by like the official rules of like you can mortgage your houses and stuff. It gets very long.
It makes my brain hurt.
The different variations of Monopoly.
There is quite a few. There's a few new ones, especially coming out around Christmas. Trying to think of one of the newer ones.
You have the ones with the handcuffs.
So in my town, we have a Monopoly game, but it's like based around my town where I'm at. So instead of calling it Monopoly, it's called Norwichopoly. I'm like, the fudge?
That's cool.
So
really
my
is.
home state, they have an Alabama, like the football team Alabama board game, also with Auburn. Also have LSU. That pretty much any high college football game, they have for college football team, they have a Monopoly set.
No, that's really cool.
Really
I
cool.
do imagine having your own Monopoly set after you.
Yeah. Then they have one that's based off board. Like they got one like Simpsons. I think they have. I know they have one of Simpsons. I know they have like Avatar. You know, like the blue people Avatar.
Yeah, blue people Avatar.
Yeah.
We should really try to get like a TSB Monopoly, because I think that would be cool.
Technically, you can. If you go to Etsy, you can order one and have one customized.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That would be cool.
There is also one. It's called Monopoly Deal. It's a very fast Monopoly game using cards, and it's really fun.
Okay.
Oh, and not to mention, they have the Monopoly Go app now.
Yes,
Oh,
app. I actually play that myself. It's quite fun.
My wife
Me
plays
too.
that.
It's quite fun. It is quite fun.
It's not my cup of tea. I rather just play the board game.
I'd rather play the board game, but it's
Because it brings
good
family
if you don't
together,
have
you
the board
know?
game. Yeah, exactly. It's good if you don't have the board game. So here's a big question. How many arguments does Monopoly cause?
Too many.
Yeah.
It causes so many arguments.
Monopoly ended up breaking my family apart at one point.
Yeah.
Same
Like
here.
you could be best friends with somebody, have one game of Monopoly, and just never speak to them again. Tears
Yeah.
friendship.
Broadway place.
It made my in-laws hate my family. Like, literally, it sucked.
That's Monopoly for you. But overall, I do enjoy playing Monopoly. It's a fun game. Can be very, very long, but that's what makes it fun. I'd rather sit down with my family or friends, play a board game for like 2-3 hours, rather than just sit in my room, watch movies or something. I'm a very sociable person, I'd say. I like to spend time with people. And if that's through board games, then so be it. Especially Monopoly being one of the big ones. We play it every Christmas. So, yearly.
Question is, how many times do you and your family fight on Christmas Day?
Too many. I lost a present over it.
You'll bet presents?
Yeah, literally. We don't do it anymore because I lost a present over it, and we just stopped doing it because my little brother freaked out about it. So we had to
And
stop doing
Xbox.
it, but it was cool. It was cool when it was a thing.
See that? It's have a little competition, like almost like a game of poker, but instead it's Monopoly.
Exactly. So another big question with. Oh, sorry.
There is also a game called Battleship that I really enjoy too.
Battleships.
Yes.
I remember that game when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's a classic game there. Good game, classic.
It's strategy based as well.
Yeah, I see. I'm no good with like strategy based games. But I'd happily play. I'd happily play battleships, but I'm just no good at it. Whenever I play it, I usually clump up my ships together and then realize that was a mistake.
Yeah, with me, I use Battleship as a teaching mechanism for my nephews and nieces, where teach them how to use coordinates and all that.
Mm.
Like instead of it, 'cause I bought this not Monopoly. I bought this Battleship game where instead of doing like F3, it's actually longitude and latitude. So it's a good way for them to learn coordinates and all that.
See, that's good. That's good.
Yeah,
I didn't pass geography or anything like that, so I don't know longitude, latitude, nothing like that. That confuses the hell out of me. I don't understand any. So the one big thing with battleships is I can't remember, but the only time whenever I played it, it was always a 2-player game. But I'm fairly sure that they've added a group one where it can be like 4 players now.
Always been a group one if you had multiple of the set.
Oh, has
It
it?
can always.
Technically, yeah.
Oh, I always thought it was just a like duo thing. Okay.
I can see it being like a whole table playing battleships. That will be very interesting.
Yeah, that would be.
Last summer, me and my family hosted a battleship tournament for the family, and my niece actually ended up winning, which was like perfect because that was my whole goal for her to win.
Nice.
And
That's
the
wicked.
way I taught her how to win was I always told my family we're using the longitude and latitude ones, and they're like, okay. Little did they know I trained my nieces to win. I make sure my family knows how to take L's, but at the same time, I want them to learn how to take dubs all the time. Most of the time.
Yeah.
I don't raise sore losers. I don't do that.
See, it's a smart way of teaching your nieces and nephews about it though, about like geography, stuff like that, longitude, latitude. It's a good way of teaching them that through a board game.
Yeah, because literally on Tuesday we're gonna be doing homeschooling for them, and I just bought them a globe. So where I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have them spin the globe, and wherever my finger lands on, I'm gonna have them research an animal in that country or continent, wherever it's gonna be.
Smart. That would be good. Just make sure it's not a basic animal that like comes in every country, like chickens.
No, I want to make sure these are all like regional ones, like for example hyenas. Those are like basically in Africa. What else? Let's get another example. Tasmanian devils. Those are mainly in Australia.
Tasmanian devil. I've heard that.
It's from Looney Tunes, but there's an actual animal called the Tasmanian Devil.
That's the
people think that they're ugly. They're actually pretty adorable.
I've never seen one.
I will send you a picture later. I think you'll be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I've never actually seen one. I've only seen, obviously, Looney Tunes version. Okay. So moving on from battleships, that's a great way to teach people is by doing it that way. It's a very good way. But moving on, I want to go into a more serious game, I'd say, in my opinion. Cluedo.
Wait, what?
Cluedo.
I
Do you
don't know
know?
that game.
Do you not know it?
Why do you? I never heard of it.
Oh wow. Oh, none of you have heard of Cluedo.
No,
Gee,
can you
wow.
please explain it?
It may be a UK thing then. So Cluedo pretty much is a game where it's 4 to 6 players, if I remember. You all get these little pieces that you can choose from, and they're little like markers, pretty much. You choose one of them, and you play as that character for the entire game. Now, the whole meaning of the game is that there's been a murder, and you have to figure out what room the murder has been in, what the
Yeah,
weapon used was, and
that's
who did it.
Clue. We call that Clue in the U.S.
Oh,
Oh,
we call it Cluedo.
Okay, okay. So yeah,
Actually,
I
it's
know
pretty
exactly
cool,
what
not gonna
game it
lie.
is.
It's a
Different
good
name.
game.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's a very
different
fun
name.
game.
Yeah, it's a
That
very
Beats
was
my
murder
favorite.
mystery before murder mystery was a thing.
exactly. And I know that I've seen the movie Murder Mystery.
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. That movie was butt cheeks. I'm not gonna lie. The first
I
and
quite like
second one.
I quite like them. I'm a big fan of like them types of movies and stuff, so I quite enjoyed it. But each to their
Adam
own.
Sandler. I'm an Adam Sandler fan, but at the same time, Adam Sandler could have done better. He could have.
Yeah,
Like
actors have good and bad days, I guess.
that movie is so predictable. I'm sorry. It was.
It was predictable. I will say that. I did manage to call out the killer straight.
So
In
question.
the,
I do have a question though. Your
go for it.
character pieces. What are their names? Because like ours, we have
Oh,
like Mustard, Peacock, and
yeah, ours are the same.
okay.
Yeah, ours are the same with that. So there's been a lot to do with Cluedo or Clue, as you guys call it. They don't do it anymore. Like they don't make any new variants or anything, which kind of bums me out because it would be cool to have like a new, updated version of Clue or Cluedo.
In the US, we have 3 variants.
Do you?
Yeah.
Maybe UK do have more variants. I'm just dumb.
There's one that's inside the mansion. Then they have one that's like on a boardwalk, like in the pier on a pier.
Oh,
Then I remember this as a kid. It was a very old one, but it actually had mechanical pieces. Like you can, if like a chandelier was a killing weapon, it could actually drop. Like we actually had like mechanical pieces, like Mousetrap, for instance. It
oh
was like
wow,
yeah.
Mousetrap. I never played that, but it was.
I played it once.
I've always seen it, and I've never played it, but I've always seen it, and it looks like a fun game. But we'll get into that in a little.
Yeah, but like you get the gist. Though, it's like almost like that, where you can like it's like okay, hey, chandelier falls on you. Just press a little button near the chandelier, and it falls on top of the player.
See, that's interesting. That's really cool. I've never seen
It's
anything
like a
like
3D model, and I miss it. Is how I first started playing Clue, and I seen the newer one. So I'm like, I want my old one because it's a lot better, my opinion.
Mm.
But I
Yeah,
guess they had to get rid of it because of Hasbro and having little pieces because of kids.
yeah. That
While we're,
makes.
on, while we're on the topic of strategic games, what do y'all think about Connect 4?
Oh, don't even get me started on Connect 4. It's a great
I will-
game, but it's a pain
I
in the
will
ass
beat you.
to win.
Oh yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, it is.
I
Like
like playing that game in the arcade.
I
Yeah.
went once. I last time I played Connect Four, I haven't played it since. But the last time I played it, I went on a draw spree. Me and this one person just kept on drawing. We drew about 50 times, and we ended up just calling it quits. None of us either won. We both didn't lose. We both just kept on drawing because we both just kept on playing like the other person was. So there was no clear winner because we just kept on blocking everybody, and it just kept on going on. We played for like 2 hours, I think it was.
My longest game of Connect 4 was like 4 hours.
Jesus, that's a
Yeah,
long Connect Four.
bro. Let's say I haven't played it ever since. Besides going to like my local arcade just to play to get tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I lived, we have a Dave and Buster's around us, and what do you call it? There's a Connect Four machine, but instead of you like pressing a button for Connect Four, you have to shoot a basketball and place your marker.
We have one of those too, yeah.
I don't know.
Honest,
That sounds cool.
which in my opinion is a good way to get some fitness into you is playing a board game, but you're also shooting a basketball at the same time, so you have to be strategic where you're gonna shoot it. And they have things on the machine where if it hits like the outer edge, you lose a turn.
Huh. Okay, that's cool.
It's cool and it pisses all my family members off. It really does.
That doesn't surprise me. It sounds like it would be hard.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
when you have we have a star basketball player as a family member.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Wait, who do you have as a star basketball player?
Me, I'm a basketball player for my college.
Hey, nice.
Good job.
I'm a starter. I'm a point guard. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm tall as flip.
What about you, Jace? Have you got any Connect Four arcade games like that?
No, but I do have another game in mind. Pie Face.
High Freeze.
No, Pie Face. It's where
Oh,
Nice.
it's where you get whipped cream or something that's creamy, and you put it on a hand and you twist that hand or twist a lever, and that hand will get close to you, and it will hit you with the cream that you put in it.
see, I know exactly what you're talking about. It's the exact same thing over here. We never used to use whipped cream though. We had a challenge. We used to add to the hand whenever anybody turned it, and we could add. So we started off with shaving cream, and we just added random things to it. So we could add like yogurt to it. We could add
Hot sauce.
hot sauce, condensed milk, stuff like that. Anything and everything we added to that.
Oh, that's
See, my-
that's freaking great, bro. I want to do that.
My
It's
family is so cruel because everyone in my family hates mayonnaise, and I am the one that loves mayonnaise in the family. So they end up doing it to my little cousins, and instead of whipped cream or shaving cream, globs of mayonnaise. Globs of mayonnaise. And once they
See, I
got hit
like.
in the face, once they got hit in the face, they thought it was whipped cream, so they tried to taste it like. Bleh, bleh, bleh. I'm like, I was like, hey, you lost. Take your loss.
See, I like mayonnaise, so I wouldn't be. I wouldn't mind that.
So, let's see here. So I have a game in mind. I'm kind of curious in the UK. It's called Risk.
Okay, explain.
So Risk, it's a military strategy game. Like
Okay.
you have a bunch of like little army men, and you have the whole board is the whole U.S. Not the U.S. It's like the whole world. It pretty much like one person can dominate. Like you have to dominate. Pretty much the goal of the game is to dominate the whole world and win. That's how you win.
That sounds
That
cool.
These games can, like my grandfather, we had a game that lasted, that we didn't, it took us 2 days to finish.
Jeez.
They can last forever, and pretty much you have a certain amount of troops that you can, if your troop dies, it gets put back in the box and you can't use it anymore.
See, that sounds cool. I'd 100% play a game like that.
Yeah.
I don't believe the UK has that game, but it has reminded me of a different game. It's like a zombie game. It's called The Dead of Winter,
Okay.
and I've only played it once, and we never fully finished it because it's a very confusing game. There's a lot of little things to go into the game, which you've got to remember. It's very, very hard. But as far as I can remember, you can search up the rules and stuff if you just want to. But as far as I can remember, it's kind of like you're inside this world. You have to go out, find medical things. So you obviously roll a dice. There's a single dice. You roll it for spots, but you can also get like a death on the dice. There's one certain die which it can just kill your character, and I think you have like 3 characters, and you can send one of them out to go looting. Have you ever heard of 60 seconds? Or it's a video game. It's like 60 seconds or something. It's about
About where where you have to be in the bomb shelter.
exactly. It's exactly like that, and you can send out a person to go and get supplies, and then come back to you. But if they get like poisoned or something out there, they have to try and survive out there until their poison or radiation or whatever runs out or runs off. It's a very unique game. At least for me, anyways. I'd say it's a very unique game, and it's very, very hard to play. But if there's any like listener out there who's played it before, who enjoys playing it, can you type on Spotify?
The what?
Can you type on Spotify like comments? I don't think you can.
No.
Have them comment on the YouTube page.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on YouTube and you know like the Dead of Winter game, please let us know, because I don't understand the game. I tried playing it once, never understood it. It was too confusing for my small brain.
Yep. See, like with Risk, it's about the same way. It's very confusing. It's in the US. It's probably, in my family at least, it's one of the hardest games.
Yeah, games like that, they're great if you know what you're doing.
While we're on the topic of strategic games, this is a cliche classic, chess. It's, in my opinion, one of my favorite games, hands down.
So,
it's a good brain working game.
So the one thing about chess, I never played it as a kid. I never played it. I only started playing it about a month ago with one of my good friends, Tiny. He used to be a part of the podcast team as well. But I started playing it with him, and then he whooped my ass in it every single time we've played, because he failed to mention to me that he used to play it competitively, and he was a very, very good player.
That's not a good friend to do, is it?
Yeah, I think he said he was a master.
I'm a jerk when it comes to chess, so I leave all my pawns out in the front, and only keep my rooks in the back, and make sure if someone comes towards me, if my pawn can't get him, my rook can get him. I do the same thing for checkers. I make sure I have reinforcements in the back at all times.
Yeah, so what I've learned playing with Tiny is you want to make sure you've got your stuff protected. So if you've pulled out a knight, you want to make sure it's protected by like a pawn or something. So if that gets took, you can take their piece, whatever took it.
Yeah.
And I learned that from playing with Tiny. and I've learned a few good I guess moves. I guess you can say it's like pull out both of your knights. You move your rocks inwards. You flip your queen and your rock, or your king and your rock. Sorry, it gets confusing.
But once you have your base strategy, you keep with that same strategy. Then if it works, it works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the last time I played with Tiny, he was very surprised because I had been practicing, and I managed to draw with him. I managed to get a stalemate with him. He didn't win.
That's the way. If it's not a loss, is it?
Exactly. I'm going for the win next time.
Oh, yeah.
So, listening to this, I'm coming for you.
I want to change the subject. I want to go to a card game.
Card game.
Everyone knows this card game. Uno.
Okay, here's biggest question about Uno. Can you do a +4 and a +4?
Yes. Yes. If you're doing double rules, yes.
On the actual game itself, like on the like on Xbox, PlayStation, or PC, you're able to stack +4s.
See, I don't understand that because Uno said I've seen the tweet Uno said about you can't do a +4 and a +4.
Yeah. That's if you go by like Uno rules, but most people who play will have house rules.
Yeah, exactly. So what, like, say, I'll ask you, Jace, if do you play Uno?
Yes.
What's your house rules on Uno?
Well, actually, let me think. When I play, I don't really do the +4 and the +1s because I do the game like really fast, and like when I do the +4s, and they change the color. I don't do the change the color on a +4. I just say take the 4 cards.
Okay. Paradox, do you do that differently, or do you do
See, like my house rules, like we can add a +4 on top of a +4. But I also do the jump in house rule.
I do that. I was going to bring that up. I do the jump rule.
Yeah, I love that, especially some people, they like to like, hey, if you place a green skip, and if it skips the next person, right? But if they have the same one, people will be like, hey, I can jump in on this.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't allow that because you got skipped. Wait until at least skip me at least, and wait until another player plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If it's a skip, if it's any other card, then you're good to jump in on it.
Then I've seen some people have house rules like, hey, I have 3 of the same card. I'm gonna place them all at once.
That's wild.
It's like 3 like, hey, skip, like jump in, and I'm like, hey, is that just why?
Yeah, that will end the fighting.
But I also allow jump ins on the +2s because it could save a player from that.
See, I don't allow that. I allow jump-ins on +2. I allow them on +4s and any normal card. Any of the other wilds, you're not allowed to jump in on. Only the +4.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Drake?
Oh hey, I forgot one. The 7-0 rule. Forgot about that one.
What, where every deck switched?
No, so if I place a 7, I get to choose any player's hand and take it and swap.
Oh, okay.
If it's 0, they all swap going in the direction. Like, say if it's going to my left, I give my hand to the left person. The person to my right hands me their hand, and so forth.
Yeah. So how about you, Drake?
So for my family, for our household at least, if you're putting down +4, you can only do that once per turn. And if you're doing like skips, you can only skip you can only skip like, let's say for like 4 of us playing. If you put down 4 skips, we classify that as you're also skipping yourself. So that, and also +2s, so if you just stack up +2s, +2s, +2s. The max we allow is 4, because beyond that, the kids will get pissed off real quick.
Mm.
And we also have a rule. I don't know how y'all feel about this, but like, you know when you buy a deck of Uno cards in those like 3 blank wild cards, and you can like write whatever you want in those? Do you guys use those?
Grandfather does.
Sometimes.
See,
He adds like
Yes,
+6,
most
+10.
definitely.
Oh no, ours is mental. We have one. If you get this, it's only the one. If you get it, it's +20 cards, and then our second one is ×2 cards, and our third one is what's the third one? Our third one's the best one. Oh yeah, get rid of any color you want. Any color card that you have, you can.
Thank you, dude.
see, in my house, it's more mental than that. So instead of +20, it's either half the deck. There's one, the rest of the deck, and then there's another one which absolutely pisses everyone off. Is you automatically lose the game.
Wow.
It's more mental
Well,
than you think.
that's
My,
mental.
with my family, we have 2 separate decks. We have the adult version. Is it like the adult drinking Uno?
Oh,
Then we
Yeah.
have Then we have the one that we play with the kids.
Okay. Okay. Staying on the base of card games. Cards Against Humanity.
Okay. I have a lot
oh
of
my
stories about
god,
that.
I love Cards Against Humanity. It's like one of the best games that I
It-
can play.
Great. It is a great card game,
Okay.
especially
On the so with Cards Against Humanity, that is, I strongly advise you play that with adults only, unless you
Yes.
get the family edition.
Yes.
Oh, we have the adult version.
There's another card game that's very similar to Cards Against Humanity. It's called What Do You Meme? But it's but it's like you just make memes.
Yeah, I've seen that one as well.
I've actually played that one, and it's not as fun as you think. Like, it gets boring real quick.
Really?
Yeah,
I think
like
it wouldn't.
like
Cards
the
Against Humanity is elite though.
with
It's one of my favorite games. Well,
with that.
in terms of card games, it's one of my favorite.
Yeah, so with the What Do You Meme? The better version of it is an older version that came out. Like, I think you can't buy it anymore. Actually, I think they discontinued it. But it's called What the Face, and you just have 2 faces and a sentence. It's like so you have a sentence, and you have to, and all the players pick a face that goes with it. It could be funny. It could be. It's like Cards Against Humanity, but it's a lot better. It's like you're making a meme, but you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
That one's
what's
more
y'all
fun.
What's y'all opinion on Skippo?
I
Don't know it.
my mom's too good at that game.
What's Skipper?
It's like Uno, but like weird. I only played it once. In my opinion, that game was no. I would never play it again.
I've never played Skipper.
No, they also have like
It's hard
Phase
to
Why?
10.
What was that?
Like,
It's hard to explain.
it is very hard to explain. It's very confusing.
Okay.
From what I understood was if I put a 2 down, the next person has to put down a 4, so you're skipping over one. You're like skipping numbers, which is mental. I can't do that. I'm good at math, but I'm not that good to do repetition of skipping. Nope.
So, like, Phase 10 is made by the same company as well. It's like this. It's just rummy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Going back to actual board games. What do you guys? What was the other one that I was going to speak about? Mousetrap. That was it.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So I've never played it. I've
I
always wanted.
don't know that one.
I played it once. It's confusing, to be honest with you. Surprisingly, for a board game to be meant for kids about Mousetrap, it's very confusing. But like you have certain order to win, you have to collect a whole cheese wheel. Like you have to make a cheese wheel out of little cardboard pieces. But if you land on certain objects, like say, hey, so you're on the target zone of the mousetrap, a player could accidentally draw a card like, hey, activate the trap, and then you're out of the game. Unless they save you, put it back together. Which you have to draw a card for that.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I mainly
every
like
time-
it because it's mechanical and just watch the ball freaking go all over the place and just watch mechanical things and doing different things.
Hmm.
I find it more entertaining just to watch it work than it is to actually play.
Ooh, I have another.
Go for it.
It's called Pikmin. Like not Pikmin. It's like where you draw like it's like charades, but with markers, and you draw on the little people.
Pictionary.
Yeah, that's yeah.
We used to have the VR version where
The
you like.
VR version.
Yeah, I don't think I can't remember if it was Pictionary or not. I think it was, but you pretty much had a pen where you just drew randomly in the air, and anybody who had the glasses on could see it. It was a really cool version and really weird because you
It's like
just
augmented reality.
exactly, you just start writing out of thin air. Like there's nothing to write on. There's just writing there. And you'd be like, "That's wicked."
That's dope. I want it. Where can I find it?
It was cool, man. It was really cool.
So, similar to like what me and my friends, when I had a VR, I'd play like VR chat. And we would play charades inside VR chat. That was pretty fun. Yeah.
Raids has always been a good game. So it's very popular in Christmas, though. That's another
I
point.
think it's the oldest board game. I don't know. I think.
Chinese checkers.
Oh,
What the heck is
I
that?
don't like regular
What?
text.
Y'all never seen Chinese checkers?
No.
It hurts my brain to even think about it. What?
Look it up. It's very hard. I don't even know how to play the game. I just know about it. It's like there's like pretty much use marbles to play. That's all I know.
I'm out.
Oh, there's also another one. Well, it's a big it's this big table, and there's either sand or rice, like on the table, and you would have these little circular things, and you would throw them to the other side of the table. I don't know what that one's called.
I don't recognize that game.
I don't think UK would know it, but I know that US would know it.
There is one game that I haven't spoke about yet. It's the Board of Life.
Oh my
Oh
god!
no.
Yes.
Oh my god!
That's a
I
fun-
hate
I lo-
that. That one is I don't like that.
I love that game.
It's a great game.
I
That
don't
one
play the
would
regular Board of Life.
would steal my life away from me.
It's a good game.
I mean, yeah, it is, but no.
I don't play the regular Board of Life. I play the adult version of Board of Life.
There's an adult version of life. What?
Yes.
Oh my god! Is there like an adult version of
So
every?
when it says start a family, you have to watch a whole video of it. Yeah. No.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Okay, that's kind of wild.
What do you expect? Hasbro has made some wild stuff.
I know y'all ask,
I
what's the
can
oldest
tell.
board game? Y'all want to know what it is?
What?
Scrabble.
Nope. No, it's called Royal Game of Ur. 46,000 years old.
46,000.
Yeah.
That's old.
Jeez. That's almost as old as.
It is a two-player strategy board game with like little tablets.
Dang, that's almost as old as my grandmother.
That's almost as old as Warthog.
Let me see. The origin was in the Mesopotamia. Is where it first came out.
That's a very old game, though. 46,000 years old.
Yep. Yeah, that's not even the exact name. It says around 46,000 years old. It could be older, and it could be newer.
Jesus.
And of course, Paradox, you would know this. Of course.
I'll search it up.
Because he's old.
I can
That's-
tell you about it.
That's old. That's an old game.
Let me see. If my phone wants to work, I can tell you. It's a okay phone. Thank you.
What about Operation?
Oh, I don't
Played
know
it as a
that.
kid.
Do you not know Operation?
No. Yeah, no.
Wait, pull the like little bones out the little clown.
Yeah.
Oh,
That one
there's
was.
this old one that I know. It's called
Oh.
Jenga.
Oh yeah,
Jenga.
Jenga.
I love Jenga. I'm no good at it, but I love it.
There's another one I was thinking of. I forgot what it's called, but yeah, it's a triangle piece. So it's a one-player game. You have to try to get go hop over pieces, and you make sure to win the game. You have to have one piece left.
Oh,
I know what you're
No,
on about.
yeah.
It's at what's it called? I was thinking Carl Jr., but it's not Carl Jr. That starts with this C. I can't remember the name.
The best variation of that came from my uncle. He made it himself. He was over in Amsterdam. He's in the military, and he came back home. I guess he did some test firing on a 9mm that he was doing. And he picked some of the bullet shells, and he made one out of bullet shells.
Wow.
And it had his own own inscriptions and wood carving in it. It was pretty neat.
I'm trying to remember. There's one certain game that's in my mind. I'm trying to remember what it is. It's you each have a certain color, and you have like 4 things, and you have to get them to the inside.
Sorry.
Huh?
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's the name of the game. Like where you have 4 different colors, and you gotta get them in your home thing. It's like 5 pieces each player.
And you have to like push down the dice in the middle.
Oh no, okay. I forgot what that one's called, but I know exactly what you're talking about. You use marbles as pieces in the U.S.
Yeah, we used just plastic things.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember.
Well, they're
it,
more
but-
like plastic marbles, but they're still,
Yeah,
plastic.
yeah. I'm trying to remember it, but I can't remember
It starts
it.
with an A. Does it start with an A?
I'm gonna search it up. Frustration or trouble.
No, we call it aggravation.
Oh, I thought you'd called it trouble.
Oh yeah, no. So it's similar, but the one that I'm thinking of is called aggravation.
Okay, so yeah, that's a great game because you have to go around the whole board with one of your pieces, and you get to choose if you want to continue with that piece or if you can pull out another piece or not.
So it's very similar to Sorry. It's just more advanced.
See, that was always a favorite of mine. Whenever I was growing up, that was always a top tier game to play.
There's another one. This one's pretty funny. It's called Don't Step on It. or don't step in it. It's where you get this Play-Doh, and it looks like poo, but it's not. It's Play-Doh, and um, you have to like roll a dice, and if you get on that number, um, it like you have to step in it.
Okay.
I'm actually kind of curious. Does anyone know the game Settlers of Catan?
No.
Isn't that like one of the hardest games to understand?
Yes.
I know what one you're on about.
Yeah, that I've been wanting to get into that. It's pretty much you have to build your own empire pretty much, and then you can trade with other people and make alliances and get like stone, wood.
Yeah.
Here's a classic for the children. Candyland. Anyone know Candyland?
No.
Well, it's a it's like you have cards and you can. It's pretty much like your dice, and you draw a card that has how many places you go, or what color space you go on, and you reach the end. It's just a board that looks like Candyland.
Mm. Okay, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I know that one. That one I played with my grandma a lot when I was younger.
Has any of y'all heard of Here's one y'all might know. Or would you consider Twister a board game?
I personally wouldn't, but
I know it depends on the person.
yeah, exactly.
Well,
It's more of a floor game than a board game, not gonna lie.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
There's one board game in particular that I'm fairly sure everybody here would know. Hungry Hippos.
No, yeah.
Oh,
Hungry Hippos.
That one,
The leading.
it was like it's also an arcade game, but yeah, that one is well, I don't like that one too much. It's I like sorry, dictionary and all of that.
I never really liked Hungry Hippos too much, but it was always still fun whenever I did play it. I just never played it because my family would cheat with it and they'd tip the board up their way, so they'd get all the balls. So, another favorite game would be Guess Who.
Oh yeah.
Guess Who was always a good game to play.
It was until people started. When little kids start looking over your board, be like, "Oh, you're this person." Because it's very easy to look over their board. It's very easy.
It's very easy, but if people play by the rules, it's a very, very fun game.
Yeah, that's only when they play by the rules. That's very rare.
Yeah.
Because all you have to do is just lean 2 inches forward and you see everything.
Man, that's not a board game. That's a dice game. I was thinking of Yahtzee.
There's one more, and it's the 1% Club. I don't know if any of you know what that is.
I don't.
So the 1% Club, it's a TV show. I don't know which came first. I don't know if it was the show or the board game. I think it was the show. But it's pretty much it's like a game night. A bunch of people are brought in, they're asked all of these different questions, and the question is based on how many people will answer it. So if 75% of the people are like correct in the answer, if the percentage is 75, that will be the 75% question. And then it drops to 50, down to like 40 until you're at the 1%. There's only like 5-6 people left at the 1% question. and you have to try and answer what that question would be. And it's very hard. I play it along at home, and the highest I've gotten to is, I think, 50%. Because after that, it gets very, very hard.
There's one board game in particular that I think you might like, Jones, and it's like Clue, but it's I can't think of the name. I'm trying to find the name. Betrayal. It's called Betrayal at a House on the Hill. So pretty much is you have a number of players, and one of the players is picked randomly, who's the ghost, and their objective is to pretty much kill all of the players before they're caught. But if they're caught, they can still kill the players, but they have to kill them all. But the players have opportunity to kill them. But when you enter rooms and stuff, the room doesn't show until you enter that room. Like you have separate tiles for that, and you can place them anywhere. Like it could be totally different landscape every time.
That sounds quite good.
It's very hard to understand at first, but once you start understanding, it's a very interesting game. Like you have to whoever is the ghost, the players will know who it is. But they have to kick them out the room, and so they can pretty much read what they're supposed to do and what type of ghost they are. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a good game.
And I believe like their ghost abilities don't activate until something certain happens. I can't remember.
Okay, so there's one final game that I want to talk about. Kaplunk.
I've heard of that one. I haven't. I have to remind myself.
So Kaplunk is played with a lot of marbles and a lot of straws, and you have to pull out. It's kind of like Jenga. You have to pull out a straw and make sure all the marbles don't fall. If all of the marbles fall, as we like to call it, you have to pick up all of the marbles and put it all back. It's a very fun game. I always loved playing it.
I played that one when I was a kid with my grandmother.
I always loved playing Kaplunk. It was always a top tier game for me. But I think that about wraps up the podcast. So I'm going to finish it there. Thank you again to Paradox, Draco, and Jace for all joining me. We had a good time. We just talked about a bunch of different board games. I obviously hope that the listeners also enjoyed it. But yeah, that'll do it. Until next time.